again, as we started to scale the real estate investment portfolio, it's like along the way as we, not from 0 to 1, like I did a lot and wore a lot of hats kind of when I was first starting. But as I started to get to more units, so once we started getting above 10 units or whatever, and we were managing, one and then multiple construction projects at a time, we definitely had to scale through people. And again, a little less systems back then, but definitely more so now. As we pushed into the future. So I'd say over the last couple of years, like that's where most of my focus has been on its scale. And because we're vertically integrated, we do have our, internal property management. We have an investment portfolio where we're actively like the same stuff that we're building for customers right now, the same build and rent products we're building for customers. We're trying to build and hold as many of those ourselves as we can because I like them and believe in them. And so the biggest thing for us though along the way has been kind of people. I think has been number one, bringing the right people in who are truly rock stars at what they do, whether it's on the construction side or the property management side. And then technology is a big one. So as we continue to scale, having the right technology in place, is I'm sure you've dealt with in the past, but especially with us, with the amount of projects we have going on, the like bookkeeping and accounting stuff seems like it should be pretty straightforward, but you get a lot of projects going on at once and you got to have the technology in place and the systems to have that pretty dialed in. And so the people, the technology, and then the systems. So just trying to systematize as much stuff as we can. That way we're not dealing with, surprises or if we've made a mistake once, there's no reason to make it again. Let's try to document it and make sure that we avoid it in the future. And so I think those have been the three biggest components for us scaling to where we're at today. Again, it started, one, it was totally different than it is today, but it's been kind of a learning but important, thing to do along the way.
Yeah, one of the funny things is I'm a big fan of you learn by doing. Like there's a sort you can't go to college to do some of the things that we're doing, right? It's just you have to get your hands dirty, you have to get involved, you have to put 80-hour work weeks, right? It's just the only you have to build callus in your hands to do some of these things. What was one of those like moments that for you was extremely difficult at the moment, but now looking back, you're grateful you had it because you learned a lot from that experience?
In general or new construction only?
Yeah, with regards, well, I mean, you can tell me both if you have two of them.
So I feel like anybody that's been real is an actual like real estate investor. It's just there's so many of them. It's hard to even pick one. I know with the regular the buy and rehab stuff, the constant issue that we used to run into on those is just underestimating the scope of work and the budget because a lot of times you don't know what you're getting into until you people see these properties and it looks great on paper and you buy it and you open up a wall and realize there's you know we've had some wild stuff where it's just like anything from like houses that never had a water service hooked up to them that we would have never expected that to happen to, entire floor structures rotted out. And so I think just a lot of those underestimating repairs on the rehab stuff. On the new construction, I agree. And the first couple we built, like I built them going into it with the full intention that I was going to pay for an education on building houses one way or another. And so we were hopeful that we weren't going to lose money on the first couple of them. But I also fully understood that there was going to be a lot to learn there. Trying to think, I don't think we haven't had any of those like wild, you know, real wild bad mistakes on the new constructions like we have on the rehabs. We have had some silly stuff, like especially on infill lots where you wouldn't have expected it. And one that comes to mind recently, like we're building four duplexes on a cul-de-sac, and they're infill lots, but the entire subdivision has been developed. It was developed years ago, and we knew that we had to run sewer across the street to tie into the sewer main, which we had budgeted for and expected. But when we cut the asphalt to go across the street, there was a boulder the size of a car, like 4 inches below the asphalt, which is not, it was not the right way when you're putting streets in. Like there's supposed to be subgrade and stuff that's there in case you ever have to dig it up. But the roads were put in probably 20 or 30 years ago. And obviously that wasn't checked on or a rule back then. And so we spent a lot of time and money jackhammering through a ginormous rock to put a sewer line in. And so we do have that kind of that silly stuff that pops up occasionally, but it's less on the new construction. I just go back to the biggest thing was probably on the front end, maybe not knowing the cost, and then running into estimation issues even on the new construction, and then just those occasional kind of minor unexpected things that pop up, but it's less than the rehabs by a lot.